All right, episode 32 of Ask EJ. Let's get it done. Question number 1.
Joseph from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Oh,
asks,
Hot Springs. I wonder if he goes to the spas there in Hot Springs.
You know he does.
I would too, buddy. No manicure, no pedicure, but the Hot Springs, definitely.
So he asks, what is the right way to sight in a one-time red dot? Zeroing at 25 yards, I attempted it and now have it completely out of whack. How do you get it back to out-of-the-box sight adjustment?
Hold the gun still, take your shot, move the red dot to the shot. Pretty simple. Move the red dot to the shot. Dot to the shot. What ends up being a lot of the issues that most people have is they overanalyze it, overthink it. Get the gun steady, take your shot, then move the dot. Don't move the gun, move the dot to the shot. So that's how you do it. I mean, like, if you're aiming here and your shot is here, leave the gun still, move up, over, and then recenter and shoot it. Very simple. But I understand the frustration.
Cool. Brian, out of... You were done with that?
There's nothing else to say.
Okay, making sure. Brian, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, asks, how can someone maximize the real-world benefit they get out of competition shooting, IDPA, IPSC, 3-gun, etc.?
That's a good question. What's his name?
Brian.
Brian's not going to like my answer, though. Don't game it. You know, at least take one of those competitions, and get your head right about not winning a trophy. And don't care what the old guys say. Just utilize your tactics. Like, say in IDPA, right? You got to go, shoot from behind cover. There's a way to game that, right? But how about we, stand off from that corner and pie it? As long as you, don't cross that certain line in the game that says, you stepped out of bounds. So you don't have to rush it. Make accurate shots. And then shoot occasionally for accuracy over time. Like, couldn't care less what he says my time is. How many drops did I have? Shoot one for for all. If it's just a general target like A zones, go all head A zones. Go all head AB zones. Really dial it in tight. See what you do. You're not going to win the old pat on the back, crowd gathering around you at the thumb it up table while you're getting ready to go to the next one. But you can integrate some tactics and real life stuff in it. It is possible. You just won't be the cool guy. But it does give you an opportunity to move and shoot in a quasi-realistic scenario, specifically IDPA, which you may not have an opportunity to do if you're doing, indoor range type stuff. And that's for a lot of people. So it wouldn't hurt you, but there's always this impending desire to go, man, I could shoot better than that guy. I want to win the trophy. I get it. I know. So, yeah, utilize the corners, accurate shots. Watch where you stand. Get off the walls, pie the corners. So, as far as like 3-gun, steel challenge, or something like that, 3-gun, you can to a degree. Steel challenge is kind of hard. IPSC, it's not even designed to be anywhere remotely close to real world. I mean, dudes out there wearing cleats and shorts, gun belts, and guns with plasma ray blasters and Trident missiles and stuff on them. I think some of them got periscopes, satellite communications, direct TV, all that kind of stuff's on them guns. So, like IDPA would be the closest, but then you got the old guys be like, what are you doing, man? You're on my team, or well, you took too much time, whatever their complaint will be. You know you could run that a lot faster. And then when you say, well, I'm trying to run it, as a real world scenario. Oh, okay. And then they don't talk to you for the rest of the day. All right, that's a good question though. Like I said, probably not gonna like my answer. Yep, no, he ain't gonna like my answer. So, like we've got a course, competitive shooting. You can pull it up, take a look at it. It's inside the Sheepdog Society. Mike Seaclander, if you know him. He does a TV show with Janik on Best Defense, or it's called The Best Defense, on one of them, their outdoor network type shows. I asked him to help us with the competitive stuff, and he did a really good job for us, so you can check that out if you want to know a little bit more about that. All right.
Next question comes from...
I wonder how many IDPA IPSC haters I'm going to have on that one.
We'll find out soon.
Because I'm not disrespecting the game. Like, I'm a state champ on IDPA. But the question was, how do I maximize the real world benefit out of it? So that's how I answered it. Just thought I'd clarify that. All right.
Cool. Dave from Springfield, Missouri asks, my daughter bought a Sig P238 after shooting a friend's gun. When we train with it, she's getting trigger bite on her trigger finger, causing a blister, and then the skin tears. I don't understand how she's doing this, so I don't know how to correct it. Do you have any suggestions?
This is not like your answer day to day. So I bought a Pig 238.
Sig P238, yeah. Yeah, I know. I said I corrected myself.
There will be like 20,000 comments. Pig 238, LOL.
It happens, man.
You're not afforded the ability to make a mistake on these shows.
Nope, can't do it.
So, his girl's got a blister on her trigger finger from running a Sig P238.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of those single stacks, and the gun is like uber small. One of those micro subcompacts, ultra subcompacts. That gun probably weighs like somewhere around 8 pounds, and then on top of it, I'm sorry, that trigger pull was around 8 pounds. Yeah, because then you got so that's about an 8-pound trigger pull, and Lord knows how much that gun weighs. I'd be surprised if it weighed over a pound. So, you just look at the ratio. You gotta, let's just, for even math, because I don't know, but somewhere around a pound, and then somewhere around 8 pounds of a trigger pull every time. Yeah. I mean, how about we do this, Dad? You run the gun for about 150 to 200 rounds. Let's see where you get on your trigger pull, on your trigger finger, if you get a blister or not. Because you probably will start to develop something, redness and tenderness. You know, it's a little hand cannon. It's a get off me gun. That's the reason that people will show up to a class running one of those little guns as an everyday carry gun, then only to throw it in the car or their range bag and whip out a master blaster like Glock 19 or Smith & Wesson M&P 9. I want more bullets. You know, it's a bigger gun. It doesn't hurt my hand. The trigger pull's good and all this other stuff. But then they put that away in their range bag, you know, with the lock on it and the range flags, and then put it back in its pillow. And then they get the Mosquito and put it on. What was Will Smith's gun in Men in Black?
I think it was called the Mosquito.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
That's that little thing, and then wham, knocks him on his butt. That's about what that 238's like. And then you're gonna put it in a smaller framed person. You know, you get what you get.
Cool.
My question would be, go back and read it again. Did she buy it
Yeah, after shooting her friends.
after shooting her friends?
Yeah.
Like she needed a new gun because that one got confiscated?
No, I'm assuming that she
Or shooting with her friends.
I'm sure that she was with a friend, and I think it was like a first time.
Because you said shooting her friends.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not cool to shoot your friends.
right. Well, you don't want to shoot them.
It's one of them days.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's probably about all I can imagine. You know, the trigger pull's heavy, the gun's not, and it's a little hand cannon. So, change your gun or eat more Wheaties. All right. Well, I mean, but now you know more, or she knows more than what she did. Because I go back to what I say, when you are fingering that gun in the gun store, oh, this feels nice. And then what does everyone do? Look down the sights, because that's an indication right there of how great the gun is. Oh, I like the sights. I'll take it. I mean, that's like getting in a car on the showroom floor, putting your hands on the steering wheel and goes, oh, I bet this drives nice. I'll take it. So that's why I tell you, get with friends who have guns and try theirs out first, you know. Or if a gun store has or you know, like one of those indoor shooting ranges will have like a gun store in them, or you can go somewhere you can rent a pistol or many pistols and try them out. You know, it's well worth that, you know, minimum amount of money to actually fire it and test it and get a feel for it. That's something you ought to spread the word on. Continue to tell other people, hey, I'm in the market to buy a gun. Well, how many have you shot? Well, but I'm looking for this. No, I mean, have you shot it? You know, have you shot some other things first? Because that guy behind the counter at the gun store, man, he's just trying to move a product. I'm not knocking them, but they're just trying to move a product. For the most part, I'm sure there's some huggy bears out there that really do care about your interest. But for the most part, this gun didn't sell very well. I need to get rid of it. Hey, here's an unsuspecting, you know, new buyer. What do you need? Oh, I have the perfect thing for you. Here you go. Either that or they treat you like you don't know anything. That's why, like, friends ought to go with friends to buy guns, to watch out for the guy behind the counter. Like, do you know how they sell cars? Like, the best way to sell a car? Like, I'm not a car salesman, but I know this.
Your friend buying the car? I don't know.
You're retarded today. What's wrong with you? No, the best way to sell a car is to get the buyer to get his butt in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Sit in the car and hand them the keys. Why? Because then they identify with that car. Like they see themselves, and then in their mind they see other people seeing them. So then they got, there's this intrinsic motivation now. I gotta buy it. Oh, this is an overwhelming emotional, the smell, yeah, and obviously it drives well because the steering wheel is nice. Same way with a gun. Put it in your hand. Oh yeah. Oh. How much did you say this was again? Do you have a holster for it? I'll buy it, having never shot it. Anyway, I'm ranting. Is that 3?
That was 3.
Oh, okay, good. All right, guys. Well, that's not a bad question. Like, a red dot, sighting that in. That's a good question. How do I maximize, competition for real world? That's a great question. And then, why is my daughter getting a blister on her mosquito? Because it's a handgun. Good questions today.
Hooray!
Oh my gosh. Help me. All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in today. Send us some more questions. Love to have it. Links in the description box. Check out sheepdogsociety.org. Also, if you want to check out the competitive shooting stuff, go to sheepdogsociety.org and you can see it in there. All right. Well, cool. As always, what do we say? That's right. Stay alert and practice often. Sheepdogs, I'll see you on the inside.